This is Dr. and welcome to the TNA post show. As always, I'm joined by my co-host, the one and only, the star of the show, Burt Backlund.
And I'm joined by Michael Jordan herself. She's under the weather tonight, but she's gonna put in a flu game. You know what I mean? She's gonna have an all-timer tonight.
Yeah, I do apologize for my voice. I am a little bit under the weather, so I'm gonna try to push through this review. Cameron Johnson saying Big Burt.
Thanks, Cam.
All right. Let's kick things off talking about Explosion. I sing the same thing about Explosion every fucking week, and right now that I'm under the weather, I don't have any interest in repeating myself. So let's just go through the matches. We had Tasha Steelz versus Rihanna Jade, which was a good match. Obviously, Tasha Steelz was going to win this. She was accompanied by Alicia Edwards. Is she medically cleared to compete? Because she's still rocking that neck brace.
Well, that should be part of her gimmick going forward. Like, I mean, she should constantly be selling the neck.
Yeah, I agree with you. I wouldn't mind that because she's had that neck brace for a while now. Okay, so next we get the Around the Ring segment with Leon Slater. We find out he's a dog person. Everybody seems like a lot of TNA wrestlers are dog people.
Well, I don't know who isn't. Cats are cool, but you know, team dog.
You can't see him, but my dog. Oh, actually, they're like right here somewhere. You can't see it. They're right there. Yeah, team dog. Team dog. We get a John Skyler promo. This is your typical good hands promo. John Skyler just talking about Gresham and about how he's gonna get these good hands, which leads into their match, Jonathan Gresham versus John Skyler. I've said this before and I'll say it again. John Skyler and Jason Hart are so underrated. I mean, both of them as singles competitors are really good, and as a tag team, they're good. I think that John Skyler really held his own against Jonathan Gresham, and that's not an easy feat to accomplish here, you know?
The good hands remind me of a better version of the B team. If you remember the B team, Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas. Remember they had like a good song for like one show? And they like changed it. I don't know. I don't know why I brought that up, but yeah, no. What sucks about this match is it kind of seems like they're officially like done with that whole Gresham angle. And I don't know if it's because I think his contract could be coming up. I don't know what his what the status is at, if he's gonna. I haven't been able to get him on the phone to give me any answers, but when Josh Alexander came out, even though it seems like the United Armory is very Canada,
the Northern Armory,
the Northern Armory, I wouldn't mind Jonathan Gresham joining that stable because they kind of alluded to, is Josh out here to do a little scouting, and I think Gresham would fit that technical wrestling background of that group. But yeah, no, this was a good match. Gresham always has good matches. It just sucks because I thought that he found something with his character and then it's gone.
Yeah, I'm really surprised they dropped his gimmick so quickly. I thought they were going to do something with the whole, to me, it felt like it was a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type of thing, and it sucks that we didn't get a conclusion to it. So, all right, but that is it for Explosion. Hopefully, they continue the 2-match format because I cannot stand the 1-match format.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's kick things off. So as tonight's Impact was a go-home show to Bound for Glory. Let's kick things off talking about this double world title contract signing. Now, as we both know, in professional wrestling, contract signings, weddings, and celebrations never end well. And this, surprisingly, it started off being an exception, but it ended up being a disaster.
So, well, I don't think that you can classify this as a disaster because I think that Kazarian, who is just a great prick heel, kind of united everyone, and they kind of have a common enemy. Instead of them turning on each other, they beat Kazarian up and put him through a table in a very unique way. But yeah, it did kind of end in a disaster, but at least they weren't fighting.
I have to say, I really like the fact that we got an explanation for Kazarian being the special guest ref for the main event. I appreciate the explanation.
It's always good when they can, when they can explain it and it makes sense.
It's good. Now, I'll get more into this when we get into predictions, but I really, really like this segment with Masha and Jordan Grace. Such an iconic rivalry here. Now, this is their fourth encounter. Does Masha beat Jordan Grace? Or does Jordan Grace beat Masha? We'll get more into that in the predictions, but just to say, just to reiterate here, it took 5 matches for Jordan Grace to beat her arch rival Gianna Perrazzo. So, we'll get more into that into predictions, but I just wanted to bring that up. So it's something to think about.
That's a great callback. I did not know that.
Yeah. But I thought this was a really good segment. I really like Frankie's role in this. So, and I like that. Huh?
No, he was just being such a dick.
He was. I really like the fact that Nick Nemeth and Jody Grace held up their respective titles and they had stare downs with Masha and Joe Henry. Speaking of Frankie Kazarian, he actually kicked off the show. It was Frankie Kazarian versus Sami Callihan versus Laredo Kid versus Jake something versus Jason Hotch. Whoever won this would enter number 20 in the Kaya Shot Gauntlet, and then the person who's getting pinned would enter at number 1. So I thought this was a really good match. Another great performance by Jason Hotch. I can't wait to see what he does in Call Your Shot. I think he'll knock it out of the park. But AJ Francis stealing the victory from Sami Callihan. Frankie Kazarian got pinned. So Frankie Kazarian entering the Call Your Shot Gauntlet. Again, we'll talk more about it in predictions, but his role in the Call Your Shot Gauntlet and his role in the main event is very interesting because he would have to run the gauntlet in order to win Call Your Shot.
Because, he has to go in number 1 now.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, AJ Francis, I'm so glad he won. I think, and I believe I saw Rich Swann had done an indie recently, so I hope that means that he's on his way back so we get this full version of First Class, because we did, as people know, they did sign Casey Navarro, so I do think that he's going to stay in the group. I don't think Rich Swann's going to be kicked out. But yeah, good for AJ Francis for winning. I do think his stock has risen in TNA. I personally think you could book him as a world champion in TNA. I think he has it all to be champion in TNA. But yeah, this was a good match.
I have to agree with you. His stock has risen, like I said, and I mentioned this before. Everybody who watches the show knows I mentioned this before. I wasn't the biggest fan of AJ Francis when he came to TNA. I didn't really care that he came to TNA. I was just like, why did he come to TNA? But I think TNA did a really good job at getting us to care about AJ Francis. They let AJ Francis be himself and really showcase his character in a good way that got him to where he is now. So I really do appreciate that. And I like his character. I like this first class gimmick. Unfortunately, I'm poor, so I fly economy. I don't fly first class here.
Well, not everybody can.
I can't afford to fly first class. All right. But after this, we get a Jonathan Gresham interview, and this was actually a really good interview. He cut a really good promo about this, talking about how he remembered who the fuck he was, and that was the best pro wrestler in the world, and how this is his comeback and this is personal. So I really dug this.
Yeah, no, I have to respect that. Yeah, everything you said, and yeah, I do like him saying that because at one point he was. So I don't know if he is now, but he will always be one of. So yeah, this was good shit.
Oh, it was definitely great. It was really great. I hope we see more of this side of Jonathan Gresham. So we get a Mike Santana vignette, and we basically get a glimpse of where he grew up and stuff. So I really like this. I like that this little thing that they did with Mike Santana. I felt like it was a great way for the people who don't know who he is to know who he is, you know?
Definitely. This was one of two tonight. So yeah, I definitely like the style of it. And yeah, like basically like, he was where he grew up. Yeah. This was really good stuff.
Yeah, as you mentioned, this was one of two. So I really like both of them. So, all right. Next, we get the launch party by Elegance. So this was Heather Reckless grand makeover, and I have to say, she looked fly. She looked really good. They did a really good job with her. I'm disappointed that they just made her name Heather by Elegance. I was hoping that they'd go with your name, Reckless Elegance, but that wasn't the case here.
But I'm fine with Heather by Elegance. It was something that like I didn't think about, but it's not like it doesn't make sense. So
yeah, that's true. But Brinley Reese and Zaya Brookside dumping poor Ash and Heather in those big bowls of champagne.
that looks like a future. Those look like two future tag team champions out there. Different teams. I could see
Yeah,
either one of those teams. I like this. I like this a lot.
me too. We'll talk about this more when we get into predictions because a lot of stuff happened tonight. We could talk about in predictions. Oh my god. Can we get Josh Alexander versus Jonathan Gresham? This was a match. This was a fucking match. I actually really like this. Josh Alexander was victorious because he cheated. He seemed like he hit Jonathan Gresham with like a little weapon or something. I didn't catch what it was, but
I didn't see anything.
you never see anything when it comes to the heels.
I'm gonna choose to. I'm gonna plead the fifth on that one. I just think that Josh just hit him with a very powerful punch.
Wow, okay. I if you say so, Bert. Afterwards, the Northern Armory came on. They attacked Gresham, and then Steve Macklin tried to help him. He got zip tied, and then Sami Callihan and Cody Deaner came out to Macklin's aid. So interesting people to come save him. Man, we're gonna see maybe a faction warfare here between them. I mean, I know Deaner and Sami are not in a faction with Macklin and Eric Young, but it would be interesting because they're definitely gonna need help to beat the Northern Armory.
Real quick, good on Steve Macklin for kind of showing that he has the tools to play a good heel. I mean, a good face.
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
you know what I mean. He's definitely showing that side of himself. And yeah, whenever we get this match, and whoever the people in it are against the Northern Army, it should be good.
It definitely is. But Steve Macklin needs to slay the head of the dragon, which is Josh Alexander. Will he? Again, we'll talk more about that when we get to predictions. We got Wendy Choo versus Jody Threat. Wendy Choo was victorious after Rosemary distracted Jody Threat with the pillow. And with Wendy Choo and Rosemary will face Spitfire for the TNA Knockouts tag titles at Bound for Glory. Well, again, something to consider as we get ready to talk about predictions. Will Wendy Choo make history here?
No, because I do think that the plan is going to be to have Spitfire retain and have Ash by Elegance and Heather by Elegance win, just because I don't think that they will put a title, even if it's in a tag team, on a non TNA wrestler.
Joseph says, I think going to TNA has helped rejuvenate Steve's career. He was guilty by association in the Forbidden Sons and Xavier. Glad to see he's playing a good face. Can y'all keep Wendy Choo, please? We're fighting just for Reckless Elegance, so that will impact my prediction. Yeah, that's true. So
Speaking of Cam, just real quick to Cam's point, I would say, while I'm not the biggest Wendy Choo fan, I think Rosemary deserves Hall of Fame praise just because I think she's gotten the most out of Wendy Choo, and this is the most relevant she's been. It fits with, you know what I mean. You could have put Wendy Choo in Decay back in the day. You know what I mean? Like it would have worked. Like I just think by proxy, her being with Rosemary, it's working for her. So I wouldn't mind that just because, like I said, I'm not the biggest Wendy Choo fan, but if it strengthens the Knockouts tag team division, I'm completely fine with that because it works.
Question: when you say DK, do you mean DK with Crazy Steve, Black Taurus, Havoc, and Rosemary, or are you talking about the Death Dolls with Rosemary and Havoc?
Even Decay with Abyss, or I'm just saying any iteration of that group, it works. I'm just saying that she could have fit them.
Okay, yeah, I see. So the system cut a very quick little promo talking about, you know, Bound for Glory, of course. My Eddie Edwards and Myers bring up ABC and the Hardys. Dango said he's been calling his shot for 20 years, so I guess that kind of hints at the fact that he's going to enter call your shot. And Moose says he's going to make Santana trust the fucking system. So I thought that was a really good promo.
It's funny that you mentioned Dango, and I want to shout out my friend Miguel from Twitter. He just pointed out how underrated he is, and I completely fucking agree. Like JDC, like just the way that he fits the system, and then just again, it's just like I wasn't watching a lot of WWE at the time, but I was aware of Fandango, and like I thought that was corny as shit. And but when he got with the Fashion Files, that was good. Like that was like good comedy. But his just role in TNA has been so good. Like he's very underrated. I couldn't agree more. And he's really coming to his own as well.
I have to say, I do agree he is super underrated. I think that when he first came, I didn't take him seriously, and I didn't understand his gimmick about how he hated pro wrestling. And I, because he wasn't a huge fan of that gimmick per se, but when he had his match with Josh Alexander, I changed my mind on him. Definitely. And I do dig his whole JDC gimmick. He's very underrated. I hope we see more of Dango. It kind of saddens me that when the entire system had gold, he didn't. He should have at least won like the digital media title, even if it would have been a short reign.
Yeah.
All right. So we had the system versus the Hardys and ABC. This match was definitely a momentum booster for the winning team, especially heading into Bound for Glory. I thought this was a fun match. Of course, the Hardys and ABC won here, and the system attacked them from behind. And then Santana, oh my god, came out with the chain in hand, and he locked eyes with Moose, and Moose cheap shot at him. But the TNA ended with Brian Myers doing an elbow to Jeff Hardy with the chair. So the system was standing tall at the end of tonight's show. Will that be the case at Bound for Glory? That remains to be seen.
Yeah, I'll have a little bit to say on that. Obviously, when we talk about it, but yeah, this was a fun match. ABC are very good. You know what you're going to get with the Hardys at this point. Fun match.
Definitely, I agree. In case anybody was wondering, DK has been staying busy. DK, Crazy Stephen, Havoc are the Tipa Mixed Tag Team Champions. Hopefully, Havoc gets a revenge on Ash soon. Oh, that'd be really cool. I'll talk about that at predictions. Of course, system has to stand tall, but I don't like their chances tomorrow. I don't think their chances are good tomorrow. So that concludes the review. Overall, I felt like this was a really good go home show. I felt like last week even could have been the go home show too. This was a really great show back to back. TNA knows how to do go home shows and how to get you excited for Bound for Glory.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, Bert, you got the card for Bound for Glory, so you can do predictions.
Yes, I do. So first off, obviously we're gonna have the Hall of Fame. They're inducting Rhino and Bob Ryder, both well deserved. So
congrats to both of them.
Yeah. So then we have the Call Your Shot Gauntlet, and the names we know are Frankie Kazarian, AJ Francis, Sami Callihan, Laredo Kid, Jake Sunby, and Jason Hotch, and 14 other people, with Frankie Kazarian coming out number 1, and AJ Francis getting that last spot. Honestly, I feel to the person that makes the most sense would be Kazarian, but I don't think he needs to win this match to get the title shot that he's going to get. So I think the person with the most momentum is Jake something. I think him getting this win just aligns with him and Hammerstone saying that they want the gold, all the gold. So while I don't think he'll win, I think that's gonna be his first like world title match, and he, you know what I mean. It'll kind of be a breakout for him. So I think I definitely think Jake Something's gonna win this.
These were good episodes of Nashville. They did a great job of pivoting after they had to relocate because they were supposed to have been in Sparta. Yeah, that's true. They did a really great job. All right. So I've heard so many people today talking about. Let me see. Yeah, Jake would be a great winner. Frankie Kazarian would be a fail-safe. That's true. I've heard so many people talk about how they think Frankie Kazarian's going to win this. His role in the main event is as a special guest referee. We don't know how the main event is going to play out. We honestly don't. Even though Frankie's promised to call it down the middle. Now, in terms of Jake Something, I could see Jake Something winning this. Remember, the call your shot, I think some people forget, is not always for the world title. It's for any title of their choosing. So Jake Something wins was not to say him and Hammerstone call their shot for those tag titles. I mean, I think the Hardys, I know I'm getting a little ahead of myself. I think the Hardys are winning. And if they are going to go back to WWE, what better way than to put a tag team over on the way out? Jake Something and Hammerstone.
What a novel concept that would be.
Oh, Joseph agrees with you. I agree with you too. I think Jake Something pulls this off. Jake Something, unfortunately for him, hasn't really done much. He's just been kind of there. Last year, he entered at number 1, and he I thought he was going to run the gauntlet, but he didn't. Again, in order for Frankie Kazarian to win, he has to run the gauntlet because he's entering at number 1.
Okay. Next, we're going to, and yeah, I agree with that.
Next, we're going to go. Before you move on to the next one, any surprise entrance? I think we're going to see some people from NXT for sure.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. And again, this would be very cool to see a Rich Swann return.
Yeah, I think so. All right, you were saying
if I had to pick anybody I would want to see from NXT appear, it would definitely be dope to see to see Javon Evans, because
Leon Slater and Javon Evans.
Yes, that would definitely be who I would, that because he's probably my favorite in NXT, or at least one of them. So yeah, I would like to see Javon Evans in the match.
Same.
Okay, so next we're gonna start with Mike Santana versus Moose.
Mike Santana versus Moose. This is gonna be an interesting match. Let me see. For sure, it would be cool if an NXT star won it, playing off their working relationship. Remember, pre-show starts at a special time, 6:45 p.m., 3:45. Really, 3:45? Oh, okay. All right, that makes sense. So in terms of Mike Santana versus Moose, I thought Slammiversary was this downfall of the system. I think this is where the downfall of the system happens. I think Mike Santana is going to defeat Moose. What about you?
Yeah, this is the obviously Mike Santana is going to win because long-term booking, they have something planned for him. So I think he's going to start beating a lot of the former world champions on the way to being world champion at some point. So yeah, Mike Santana wins this.
Oh yeah, we have the Hall of Fame Carter shot, and then Reckless Elegance versus. Oh yeah, that's true. We got like 3 things on the pre-show. I forgot about that.
Well, the Collier shot's on the pre-show. We covered that.
Oh yeah, no contest. Santana and Moose will want to destroy each other and ignore the ref. That's true. He does bring up a good point. I could definitely see this match also ending in no contest, leading to a stipulation match. But I do think that this match, the silver winner is going to be Mike Santana.
And did Joseph say that Reckless Elegance is going to be on the pre-show? Who are they facing? Are they facing Brindley Reese and
Nia Brookside? Yeah.
Obviously, I think Team Elegance is going to win this match. Elegance squared.
Elegance square. That's funny. I think so too. This was Heather's. This is gonna be her first match as Heather by Elegance. So I definitely do think that they're gonna win.
Yes,
Breakfast
because this
Elegance
is
wins, of
she.
course.
Even though she's been a heel, this is the match where it's going to show her trying to work similar. You know what I mean? Like we want to see how Ash is going to influence her style of working. You know what I mean? So yes, yeah, I think Team Elegance wins.
I can't wait to see what their finisher is gonna be called.
Definitely.
All right. What's the next match we have?
Next, we're going to go with the Monsters Ball match, which I cannot wait to see them. The segment where they usually aren't they locked locked away for 24 hours without food or water, and then like no light.
I still question how that's legal.
I don't think it is, but I think TNA finds some sort of a loophole.
Yeah, they're gonna be locked away for 24 hours starting tomorrow.
I don't see Matt Cardona win. He's not signed. PCO is, so I'm assuming PCO gets the win here.
I know she's out. I know she has a neck like she needs neck surgery. But I wonder if SDL makes any type of appearance here without taking a bump.
I could see that. She could
I
still
could
be
see
back
that too.
PCO side.
Yeah, honestly, like, God, I'm a little under the weather right now, so I don't want to talk too much about this. As you know, how I feel about the digital media title, that should be defended weekly on Explosion. Why it's not, I don't know.
Next, we're gonna go to I think one of the matches of the night. We're gonna do a 3-way tag match. The System, Eddie and Brian Myers versus the Hardys versus ABC. I think this. I think everyone. Yeah, exactly. Like I think that's the plan. Short reign. Hopefully, they put somebody over. I would think that if they win, let's look at the timeline of now between WrestleMania, which would be most likely where they would want to make a big return. So, yeah, I think Hardy's with a short reign, and then it'd be very telling if Jake something does win and him and Hammerstone. That would be because that's then you want to think what team would benefit from beating the Hardys. Like that's a big deal. So yeah, I would like to see it be them. But yeah, the goal is for them to put somebody over in a meaningful match.
I think the Hardys, I think it's no surprise to anybody. This is a ladder match for a reason. The Hardy Boys are definitely winning this. And
and there'll
like
be
you
something
said,
insane.
we don't know the timeline. Obviously, they're going to hold on to those tag titles at least up until next year. The question is, when are they going to go back? I think everybody thinks, oh, Royal Rumble. Maybe, definitely not in the Rumble match itself, but I could definitely see them going back if there's like a special tag team match. Or they might go back, wait till WrestleMania. So I could definitely see them, losing the titles around there. So definitely, I think definitely they're gonna have a short run though.
It's inevitable.
Yeah.
Okay, next we're gonna go to the Knockouts Tag Team Title match. It's gonna be Spitfire versus Wendy, Rosemary and Wendy Choo. Obviously, I'm not saying it can't happen, but I do think Spitfire is gonna win because this is their first defense, I believe. So yeah, give me Spitfire.
Joseph says, yeah, I could see a tag team doing an open challenge at the Rumble. It's February 1st. It's in Indianapolis. I could see that too. I could see that too. If that were to happen, the Hardys would definitely have to drop at Hard to Kill. But anywho, going back to Knockouts tag titles, initially I was leaning towards Rosemary and Wendy Choo. I was like, why not have Wendy Choo make history here? But with Heather and Ash emerging as a unit, as a tag team, I could definitely see them winning the Knockouts tag titles. So I'm gonna change my mind on this one. I'm gonna go with Spitfire to retain.
Definitely. I just think that the plan is to build another TNA team, and
Yeah.
if I think Rosemary and Wendy can be a team, but I don't see them being the champions, obviously unless Wendy comes to TNA in the long run. Okay, next we're gonna have, which I don't see how won't be the match of the night. I think this is gonna be the next 5-star match TNA has. I believe they had their most recent one after not having one for a while was Josh versus Will Ospreay. But I think Mike Bailey versus Vikino, wow, like in the X Division title, this is going to be the match of the night. I think Mike Bailey wins, but I don't see how this doesn't steal the show.
Of course, Mike Bailey's retaining here.
Yeah.
But I cannot wait to see Mike Bailey versus El Hijo de Vikingo. I think this is going to be match of the night, if not the match of the night. Like, this is probably going to be the best match in the entire pay-per-view. You know, it's going to be so great. I cannot wait. This is a match I'm looking forward to the most. Don't get me wrong. The card itself is stacked and filled with great matches. But if I had to pick one match I'm looking forward to the most, it would be this one.
Yeah. Instant classic.
Oh, for sure.
Next we have, which I think should be just a real hard hit, a stiff match, you know what I mean? Just a fight. This is going to be a match. It's going to be Josh versus Steve Maclin. And I think Josh wins just with some sort of cheat help from the Armory, the Northern Armory. I think we see Eric Young return. And then it would be interesting to see who helps Maclin and Maclin and Eric Young. It could be Jonathan Gresham. That would make sense. But yeah, I think Josh wins.
I think Josh is winning too, simply because this is their second encounter. And I don't think it's going to be a clean finish here. I definitely think there's going to be some interference. Now, I think one of two things is going to happen, or maybe both things might happen. I don't know. Definitely Josh is winning with assistance from... Are they still Sinner and Saint, or are they more just Travis Williams and Judas Icarus?
I'm not sure if I think that they're more going by their names, but
okay. I think Josh is winning with the assistance of Judas Icarus and Travis Williams, and I wonder, a question, with Eric Young, being Canadian and the Northern Armory being this Canadian team, kind of like Canada, like Team Canada. I wonder if Eric Young's gonna turn on Steve Maclin and align with Josh Alexander.
I don't see that happening, but it could.
Yeah, it definitely could happen. I don't know if it'll happen at Bound for Glory, but I could see it happening eventually. So, I definitely thought Josh Alexander's winning this. Steve Maclin wins, but the feud between Team Steve and Northern Armory over. I agree the very is going to be over, but I don't think Steve Maclin's winning this. I think it's going to be a 30 finish.
Yeah, because we're trying to establish Josh's group as a top heel faction because we predicted the system are going to be dissolving slowly. We've already just said that Steve Maclin is. I think this is them trying to maybe make him one of the, because there's not a lot of faces right now. Josh is a heel, Kazarian's a heel. We really don't have any top baby, you know what I mean? Because again, we're going to talk about it in the main event. But yeah, I think something dirty happens and Josh wins.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, our next match, and I think it's the most important match. It's Knockouts title match. Jordan versus Masha. Masha has to win. I think she does win. I don't know when Jordan. I don't know when Jordan's contract expires. I'm assuming that she is gonna go somewhere else. She's she's done it all in TNA. But I think Masha needs this win on the biggest show of the year. They say this is going to be TNA's record crowd for the States. This is her biggest pay-per-view of the year. She has to win.
Okay. So, hold on, let me see. I think her contract ends in. Oh, yeah, so, okay. So, this is from the Sportster. And they quote SES Scoops. As she said, Jordan Grace was quoted as saying, I am under TNA contract until January of this upcoming year. It's coming up.
See, exactly. So, what better time than do it now?
Like I mentioned earlier, it took Jordan Grace 5 matches to beat Deonna Purrazzo. This is her 4th match. Now, I don't know. I'm so torn on this one. I am so torn. There's a part of me that thinks Masha Slamovich is totally winning this. But there's a part of me that thinks that they're going to allow Grace to retain, have her hold the title for a year, and then she's going to drop it at Hard to Kill. Much like Trinity did to Jordan Grace before she goes to WWE.
No, because it's TNA. They're gonna want to do the thing where I think Masha will beat her and then beat her in the rematch. So I definitely see her winning tomorrow.
I'm torn here. Let me see. Turning Point is going to be a part of WrestleCade weekend in which is, for all we know, Jordan could retain and Masha would zero with the stick. It took 5 matches for Jordan to be. I just said that. It could take 5 matches to do it too. I don't know. I feel like if I don't think they're gonna. I think that if Grace wins, that match number 5 is not happening at Turning Point. You know.
And then what's the final show of the year? Final Resolution, right?
Final Resolution.
Okay, see, that would fit the name but again, like I think it would make Masha look even stronger to have her beat her twice because you always do see the rematch in TNA. So I just think her winning now, not doing the second match at the November show and having her win at Final Resolution is the way to go. That's just me though.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Masha. I'm going with Masha here. But I would not be surprised if Grace does retain here, okay? Going with Masha.
She has to win, like, again, because it's not like yeah, they kind of fumbled it a little bit, you know what I mean? It took a long time to get back here, so the time is now.
Oh, her time. Oh, so you're saying Jordan Grace's time is up and it's Masha's time now?
Yeah. What is that, John C's? Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah. All right. Last but certainly not least,
we have the world title match, and again, I'm sorry to upset everyone, but I think this is pretty obvious what's going to happen. JBL's going to come out when Kazarian says he's going to call it down the middle. He won't. Something will happen. JBL's going to come out. But we all know that Nemeth is turning heel. Joe's not winning this match.
Oh, what a dagger, Bert. What a dagger.
It's not his time still. This is their Cody Rhodes. They're still not ready to, you know what I mean? They're not ready to pull the trigger on this. I don't know what else to say.
Oh. So you're going for Nick Nemeth?
Yeah, with a lot of shenanigans. Kazarian and then JBL. He said something today how he's just getting started. I think it's pretty obvious what's happening. Nemeth was acting kind of heelish. You know what I mean? So, and again, yeah, he's turning heel. Joe's losing. Sorry.
I hate to say it, but British right at some point fans will be pissed who want Joe to finish straight. For the match, I say, yeah, Nick retains. But do we think we have the winner of the Call Your Shot, cash in, and Call Your Shot? Okay, hold on a sec. I'll get to that point. You guys know, everybody watching the show, no, I believe in Joe Henry. I believe in 252 pounds of pure motivation, the answer to all our life's problems. You guys know I believe in Joe Henry. I want Joe Henry to win so badly. But I do think there's going to be some shenanigans taking place in this match. Frankie Kazarian being a special guest referee, and the possibility of JBL getting involved. I could see Nick Nemeth turning heel during this match or after this match. We've talked about it before. I'm gonna have to go with Nick Nemeth to retain. I think Joe Henry wins. I think Joe Henry wins at Hard to Kill.
When is that? January?
Yeah.
Okay. And can somebody just on the board? When is Joe Henry's contract up?
Not till late 2025.
Okay. Well, yeah. Again, we'll speculate on that more, but yeah, I think that something's got to happen at the end of this match. We want to get some heat. You know what I mean? A big heel turn, Henry getting screwed.
Now, to Joseph's point, the only way I see this happening, well, there's only two ways I see this happening. If Jake something wins, I don't think it's happening at all. I don't. I think he'll go more after the tag titles. Frankie Kazarian would have to win. First of all, number one, that would be the first one. Or number two, Josh Alexander would have to win. Because remember, I was there for this. And I even have it on my YouTube channel, Rangers of Wrestling. Moose robbed Josh Alexander of his moment. Josh Alexander had just defeated Christian Cage at Bound for Glory and became TNA Impact World Champion. He was only champion for 5 minutes because Moose robbed him of his moment. Now, I could see a scenario where if Joe Henry wins and let's say Josh Alexander does somehow win Call Your Shot, we don't even know if Josh is in Call Your Shot. But assuming that he is, I could see him cashing in and robbing Joe Henry of his moment. Much like Moose robbed him of his moment.
But they also could do a really feel-good moment. You saw Joe Henry tease it. You could have JBL try to screw him. Then all of a sudden, Eminem jumps the barricade, hits JBL with a chair, and then we get a big Detroit celebration with Eminem and Joe. You know what I mean? Because you heard Joe teased it. You know what I mean? What a great spot for Eminem to come in.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't think it's going to happen either.
I foresee a big heel turn. We got to get some heat. You know what I mean?
This match is definitely going to have a lot of shenanigans. For sure. All right. Is there anything else you want to mention in terms of Bound for Glory? Or is that's about it?
Just please watch for me, people. What? And for you guys, this is going to be a must-see show. TNA's on fire this year. They're on a heater. So you guys got to watch.
All right. As for myself, I know I had said it for weeks on here that I was going to go to Bound for Glory. It is unfortunate. I don't think I'm going to be able to go. If you guys can't tell by the sound of my voice, I did get sick. And I don't think that I'm going to be able to go, even if it's last minute, which is unfortunate because I don't want to risk my health or anybody else's health. So It's very unfortunate, but Bert and I will be reviewing Bound for Glory live immediately after the show, or are we waiting till Sunday?
We'll do a live.
Okay, we're gonna do the show. We're gonna do the show live. It would have been a trip watching Bound for Glory live in person because we would have been on East Coast time. I'm so used to my pay-per-views ending at 8.
It's only 2 hours ahead.
3.
How it's in the middle though. It's in Detroit though. How is it 3? Are you sure? I gotta Google that.
Now I'm gonna Google it too. Yeah, it's 3 hours. Is it? What time is it?
Oh, it is 3. It just
I told you.
I just didn't think, but it doesn't seem like it's 3 hours. It doesn't seem like it would be. It's not close to the East Coast, but okay. Yeah, that would okay. Well, now we don't have to do that at least.
Yeah. All right. So, Brad, as we get ready to sign off, where can people find you?
Just find me on X at BirdMac11 and us on every Thursday reviewing on Body Slam.
As for me, you can follow me on Twitter at @Tatilla_. I talk all things WWE, TNA, AEW. I go live on my YouTube channel, Regions of Wrestling, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, occasional Saturdays and Sundays. And for all things TNA, you can catch us here every Thursday. Bird and I will be doing the Bound for Glory show live immediately following Bound for Glory, since unfortunately I won't be able to go anymore. But thank you guys also much for watching. If for the continued support, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell so you get notified whenever I go live or release a new video. Or whenever we go live, or Bound for Glory, when Body Slam releases a new video. And we'll see you guys Saturday immediately after Bound for Glory.